What's going on, everybody? In today's video, I want to talk about top pressure. Now, as my partner here, I got Scott today. Scott's a nice guy. Everybody loves Scotty. Scotty's gonna get it today, though. So, brace for impact. He's young, so he'll handle it. I started by pulling guard because I honestly don't want to get hurt. Let me fast forward a little bit here to where I actually sweep him, so then we can start with the theme of the video, which is the top pressure. Beautiful. I get a half guard sweep, and I settle in. All right, here we go. I want you to pay attention. Look, I have a strong connection with the underhook and my hips are very low to the ground. Same position, just a different angle. I still have a strong connection. My hips are getting a little high, which now ultimately I got forced to pass to side control. I would like for you guys to pay attention to my right elbow and my right knee. Look what Scott's trying to do. He's trying to bridge and hip escape to create space. Every time he bridges and he hip escapes, I have to eliminate all the space that he wants to create. Because I'm in between his knees and his elbow, this is going to be a pretty hard task for Scott to do. We keep moving around just a bit, and I want to go ahead and freeze the frame right here. Look, it's pretty clear. My hips are very high. However, my knees are pinching his knees together. You're going to see me drop my hips in a second, which is going to allow him to release his right knee so he can try to get me in the guard, which I realized that. And now I'm windshield wiping so I don't get caught in half guard. And then I go to side control. Let's go back and see that one. I'm dropping my hips. He's free his right knee. I sense that. I windshield wiper or just move my legs over to the other side so I can establish side control and not get caught in the half guard. Right here, this is a terrible mistake. My head's too high. You're gonna see Scott is gonna push me back here in a second because my head's so high I can't put my weight on him. Because of such, look at my right foot. I have to base my right foot back in order to not get thrown back. So now I can put pressure forward on him. Now I fixed the mistake. My head's pretty low, as you can tell. He's gonna try the same thing again, but he's not gonna be that successful at it because my weight's way lower now. Much better. And we settle back to side control. One thing I like doing over here, watch, from that cross face, I'm gonna pull his face right back into me so I can put even more shoulder pressure. Watch my right arm. I'm gonna pull his head into me. He's closer. Now I can drive my shoulder even more forward, which allows me to put even more pressure on Scott. I'm going to fast forward here a bit. We just go back and forth. I mount him. I make sure I stay low. My hips are low. And then, okay, I'm gonna make a point here from the mount. From the mount, every time I mount, or at least I try to do this, I try to defeat the frames first before I start attacking. You're gonna see me, I'm attacking his left arm, not really to put it in jeopardy for an attack, rather to get rid of the frame. I'm using a gable grip, I'm using my whole body, I'm inch warming my way up. I have a strong connection to him, that's why he cannot bridge me off. And once I get the elbow past the shoulder line, his arm becomes very weak. Look, his right arm is completely out of the question, completely. Scott's gonna try to bridge me here in a second, but I want you to pay attention to my feet. My feet are connected to his hips, which then it will allow me to pull myself back to the mount. A stronger connection will allow me to put even more top pressure. So one thing that I want you guys to pay attention or to think about even, remember our arms serve as a frame for the upper body. If your opponent cannot frame you, you can feel heavier because now they can't support your weight with bone structure. So if you see me here, that's what I'm doing. I took away his right arm with the gift wrap, and then you're gonna see me start to swim underneath his left arm, trying to get that arm out of position. And now I feel way heavier. I'm not even putting that much pressure. I think maybe maybe I am. But look at Scott, his frames are completely out of position. This sucks. This is terrible. It sucks. Different situation now from the half guard, but again, Scott has no frames on me. My left shoulder is right in his face, and I go into a tripod position where I can even put even more pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and I want you to pay attention. Look at the mistake he's gonna make with his right foot. My right leg is trapped. Look at his right foot. He's going to release my leg. I believe he's doing this just because of the pressure, which allows me not to step my leg back. Nothing is trapping my leg, so I simply step my leg back, and now he still has no frames on me. No frames. So after I pass, look, his right arm still out of position. I'm controlling the left arm as well. You guys are gonna see it here when the camera angle changes. heavy forward pressure and down pressure. Look, right arm out of position, left arm out of position. I'm I'm basically putting my hips in his face. Look, the arms are completely straight. He cannot push me off nor handle my weight. I keep his right arm crossed. I keep control of the other arm as well. My hips are very, very heavy. They're downward pressure. Look at his face. He's not liking it. My hips are low. I'm still trapping that elbow on the left side. I'm turning on him, making sure that there's no other point of contact on the mat besides my feet. So therefore I can put all the pressure on him. And then this is kind of like a shoulder pressure straight jacket thing that I do, which is it's a lot of pressure on the shoulder, and then he's gonna get the tap. I'm gonna get the tap here in a second. There you go. So just heavy pressure with the hips all the time. Okay, now quick little takedown. I love that foot sweep. I'm gonna pass here and I want to go ahead and make a point. Remember, strong connection here with the right underhook. My hips are low. He feels heavy, I feel heavy, and if he wants to get space away because I have a strong connection to him, I go with him. I get a quick little pass. Notice his frames are out of position. He's gonna get his right arm in, and I'm gonna do here something with my hip and my leg to get the right arm out of position once again. I do not, whenever you pass the guard, try not to let your partner, your opponent, get frames. Like if you pass and they don't have frames, it is your job to keep those frames off of you. They're gonna be trying to regain that frame. As you see me over here, look, I'm fighting his right arm with my hips. My hips win that fight all the time. I can put more pressure with my hips than he can resist with his right arm. Keep going over here. I want you guys to pay attention. I'm blocking his head with my left elbow. His head wants to get away from me so he can bring the right arm in. Like, look where the arrow is going. That's where the head needs to go. So then I just put a frame. In this case, it will be my elbow / forearm. And that makes it easier for me to not give him space that he needs to get his frame. Okay, so sometimes you can stop the frame just by stopping the progression he has to make with the head, meaning you have to block the movement of the head that is required in order for him to get his frames back. Let me fast forward this for you guys. We fight a little bit. I'm gonna get the mount position here in a second. Okay, notice as soon as I mount, his left arm is out of position already. As I'm mounting, I'm taking that left arm. Now his right arm is the only one that's kind of in the way, and it's not even in the way right now. Look at his right elbow. It's very high. Actually, it's very easy for me to just underhook it, which you will see me go in a second. And then now I remove both frames. Look, boom, underhook, climb. Both of the frames are completely removed, and now I feel much heavier without putting even more pressure, because again, he can't support my weight without proper bone structure. Once again, let me go ahead and spit this up for you guys so you're gonna get too bored. We're here in the mount, we're fighting. I go for a few submissions, can't really get it. Start to mess around with his neck, not to hurt him, but just to misalign his spine, which he cannot be as powerful now if his spine is not aligned. Okay, so I decide to get out of the mount here. Looks like I took him down right after, and we're in side control. Okay, right arm out of position, left arm completely out of position. Like it almost seems like he's hugging me. Matter of fact, he locks his hand, he is hugging me, and then he kind of lets go for a second. But again, look, left arm is out of position, right arm is out of position. I have the inside control, so I'm dominating that fight for sure. I can put a lot of pressure without trying harder. You can always put more pressure if you try a little harder, but the key for me is to put more pressure without trying harder, and that comes in a way where I defeat the frames. Look, I take out his right arm once again. I start to spin around. I'm gonna go for the same submission I did on him earlier. His arm, I kind of like in a straight jacket, and I just put a lot of pressure on the shoulder, and boom, I get the tap. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope you learned a few things. I know it wasn't your regular step 1, 2, 3 instructional. It was more of a conceptual one, but I am 100% sure that if you develop these concepts, then it will serve you way better in the future than just learning, step ABC. So anyways, hope you liked the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.